What is up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with my only review of Love and Hip Hop Miami. Season 7 just premiered this week, and I did find out that this might be the final season of Love and Hip Hop Miami. I mean, it's ran its course, but if y'all want to get rid of one, how about y'all revamp one? Bring back Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, or create a whole new Love and Hip Hop franchise. I'm down with that. And can y'all bring back reunions? That's what's missing, along with having real storylines, is the reunions. I love the reunions. I miss the reunions. We need those, okay? But let's just get into it. We got Trick Daddy. We're starting off with giving us old clips of Trick Daddy back in 2003 when he was shooting MTV Cribs. And now about what he had in his house from way back when and how he has upgraded to new things now in 2025. He got rid of fish tanks. He has upgraded the kitchen. He got Lamborghini wallpaper. He got beautiful strobe lights for his entertainment center. Everything looks great. So then we see Trina and her husband Ray. She's been coming to Trix's house for years for his parties, and she is very happy he left 2003 behind and that she's loving all the upgrades. But she's recognizing that she don't see any pictures of Joy around. Where's Joy? He don't want to talk about Joy. He said, okay, we're not bringing her up. She said, cool, fine. Because he's went through 2 major surgeries last year. He wants to change his life. All he did was ask God that he will wake up. Okay, he wants nothing else to do with women. He don't want no kind of relationship whatsoever. And Trina has an issue with that because she does want Trick to be happy. She does want Trick to find a good woman and settle down. He's like, listen, I tried all that. That doesn't work for me. Right now, he wants his crib to be the jump-off joint, okay? All he wants is for women to come, do what they need to do, and then send them on their way. Well, that's how they should treat you, okay? Because you are an old-ass man. You are an old hoe, okay, Trick? You cannot be monogamous. But Ray was telling Trina, listen, if he's happy, we should be happy. We don't judge. We don't introduce ourselves to his business. Let's not do that. So we see the Doublemint twins are back. We see his son Ray. They're all living together. And then when he goes outside, he sees Hot Topic. And I was annoyed to see Hot Topic. Why is she here? She serves no purpose. Why is she here? Like, listen, y'all did some cleaning up on getting rid of certain people, okay? I'm happy to not see Ray J and Prinky. Very happy. I've noticed that I don't see Flo. If I don't see Flo this season, I'm going to be so happy. And Marlon, Gael's back. Don't know why. Like, ooh, y'all doing a good job with getting rid of certain people. But keep it up, okay? Y'all should have gotten rid of Hot Topic. Anyway, here she go, starting shit. Like Trick knew she was going to do by saying that somebody named Samantha creeped up in her DMs to try to get in contact with Trick. And he knew who Samantha was. Samantha was someone from his past or old love. So it's like, why is she talking to you when she knows she can call me? She got my number. This is the reason why he don't know why he keeps on inviting Hot Topic everywhere. Because she keeps on running her mouth and starting shit. Why? Don't know. But he said, I don't have time for the bullshit and I don't have time for what Samantha got going on. Moving on from there. Moving on, we got Amada. She is having a photo shoot to launch her new perfume line, Eternal Beauty, which is a fragrance that I kind of want to purchase for myself. She looks very beautiful in this blush pink look. I love her hair, love her makeup and everything. And Amada lets us know about what happened last season, how there was a sad and lonely, desperate man who wanted to make up a lie about how he smelled her and told his sad and lonely, desperate wife. The people who she's talking about is Ray J and Prinky. And how they did do a lot to portray a narrative that Amada fucked Ray J. And that's not the case. Princess hitting Amada, projecting all of what she got going on with Ray J onto Amada as if she's the reason why she can't trust anybody. Knowing that the only person you can't trust is your man, who she still has not divorced, by the way. And Amada said, listen, if you want to sniff what I got going on, purchase my perfume line, okay? Shout out to Amada. She is still loving that she is still doing her. Like, she's still creating every avenue for her to still take care of her children. Now, Eliza is back, saying that she's on a healing journey after going through a very traumatic year. Amada invited her so they can talk through their issues because Eliza pissed me off last season. She did a lot to switch up on Amada, assuming she wasn't a great friend. And when she came to an event to wear that shirt to talk about the definition of what Amada is, how she was a husband stealer, not a great friend, dumb, 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 dumb. And Amada tells her, listen, what occurred between them was stupid and unnecessary. Eliza took accountability and apologized for the shirt and everything that she did because she said she was being petty. And it was due to the fact that Amada got cool with Shay. Shay being the op. and that she wasn't trying to come to her launch party. And I remember her talking to Estelita about it and saying, listen, I got a lot going on. I don't want to come to support her. So Amada was like, listen, so you thought that I wasn't being a good friend because I didn't come to your event? That's irrelevant. But Amada, explain why though. I mean, supporting your friend does require for you to show up, but if you had a reason, say what it is. But Eliza said, listen, I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm trying to hold my shit accountable and apologize because I am going through a lot. She let Amada know that she lost her baby. We know that last season, Eliza got pregnant. She didn't want to say by who. And she said that things were finally slowing down for her. She was around 13 weeks and she decided to fix up her home. So she was trying to rearrange her curtains. So she stood on a swivel chair and the chair spun around and she fell and she couldn't get up for 5 minutes. She was bleeding, and by the time she got to the hospital, they told her she was having a miscarriage. Now, she was crying. Do y'all believe Eliza had a miscarriage? Do y'all believe that Eliza was really pregnant last season? I don't know. The way that she was acting very funny and wanted to be in competition with her daughter about her granddaughter being born, I don't know. I can't trust Eliza when it comes to this. I don't believe her. But Amada was giving her sympathy because she knows what it feels like to lose a child because she was pregnant with triplets. But the third baby was lost and she ended up only having twins. So she understands how this feels. And maybe God is letting you know you should use this time on being the best grandma and the best mom you can be. Eliza receives it and says, you know what? I love being a grandma. You know, my granddaughter gives me the biggest hugs ever. It's very warm. It's very genuine. I don't know, y'all. I mean, Eliza was called out for not trying to be there for her granddaughter unless there was a camera crew there. She never saw her granddaughter in the NICU unless she wanted to have a scene on the show. So I don't know if she's really being there for her granddaughter as much as she's saying she is. Anyway, I don't know if Amada was sincere or not. It didn't look like she was. But she said, listen, I'm happy we're having this conversation. Eliza appreciates what Amada is telling her and that you are being a better friend to me than I was to you. So Amada is cool with them moving forward. But Amada at first was about to tell Eliza off. She was going to come at her about her wig, her ass, her Tesla, everything. But concerning the fact that Eliza came on her grown woman shit, we can talk about moving forward. But we can only talk about moving forward if you have a conversation with Shay. Because that argument y'all had was doing way too much. I think it was a turkey baster being mentioned. So she wants everybody to reset. Now, Eliza wasn't really on board with talking to Shay, but she'll do it. And then we get into Amada's issue with Tip and how Tip has gone back and forth online with Alan, bringing his wife into the mix, telling her everything that Alan got going on, getting information. We all know Tip has been on Alan's ass ever since he's been on this show, and she's called out every single thing he's done that has hurt Amada's feelings and have brought up the things that he's done to hurt Amada. And she's not lying, but it's gotten out of hand with her reaching out to the wife, getting information, and that's pissing Amada off. Like, this is the father of my kids. I don't need you to get involved. So, like, every time I see her, it's on site. And I don't know why you're all up in my situation. And I have to agree. While I understand why Tip doesn't like Alan, but this isn't about you, though. This has nothing to do with you. Why are you involving yourself in Amada's situation? Moving on. Okay, so now we got newcomer Michael Blackston. All right. His scene starts off in Detroit. He was doing his comedy tour, and Detroit was his last city before he goes back to LA and comes to Miami to film the show. So if y'all don't know this man from any of his time as being an actor on Next Friday, this is whack. I can't get jiggy with this shit. Do you know you ain't fucking with? If y'all don't know him from that, and as well as he's been on Wild 'N Out plenty of times. And if y'all do remember, he was also on VH1's Couples Retreat, which was a reality show hosted by John Sally and AJ Johnson to talk about how celebrity couples have had a lot of issues. We got an inside look of how Rada and Michael's relationship has been and the things that Rada had to do to keep this man. The premises of their season was Rada was going to end off their engagement until he was ready to get rid of his side chicks. Turns out she still took him back, accepted the engagement ring, and gave him the ability to have one side chick a month. But he was supposed to be discreet about it. He is supposed to make sure the girl isn't known. He's not supposed to post her, but he wasn't doing that. So he is back in LA saying that he has been in LA for almost 2 decades and now he's ready for a fresh start. He thinks Miami could be a fresh start and he wants to do more things than comedy. He is talking about managing an Afrobeats artist in Miami and having a sunglasses line coming out. So now he's ready to leave LA and start his new life together with Rada, and how things have been going very, very well with them. To our surprise, but not really, Rada is 9 months pregnant with his son. And of course, he has other children. He has a 27-year-old son, 18-year-old twins, and a third son that's coming from Rada. Now, everything was going well with the doctor and her health is good, but she is scheduling an induction. She's ready to be induced now. She looks beautiful in her confessional, knowing that she has had children in her previous marriage. Her and Michael have been trying to have kids for the longest time. Don't know why. They tried IVF, and I don't know if IVF worked or they had the natural way. Either way, she's over the moon excited. She is scheduled to go to Arizona to have the baby, and because most of her family lives there, so she is happy to be surrounded by family while going through this. So while being excited about going to Miami, knowing that she's going to be in Arizona having the baby, Michael was going to go down to Miami first to make sure the place is all looking good. And Rada is talking about how concerned she is when he's out on tour and how women be around him and worried if he's going to be captured by them. Rada, this man lets himself get captured. Okay, I don't understand what's going on here. Then she lets us know that her and Michael have not been intimate in a long time. Well, you're pregnant. I know being pregnant, you can have sex, but sometimes you don't want to be touched. So don't use that as an excuse. Just say that you know for a fact that Michael has been messing around with other women while you were being pregnant. Then she is hoping that when his son is born, that she can see a different man. And that she wants him to get rid of his side chicks entirely. How did that work out for you the first time, Rada? You couldn't even take him back without giving him a pass that he can have one side chick a month. Now that you're about to have his son, you think he's going to drop his side chicks for that reason? Hell no. The fuck? Rada, don't be dumb. More than you've already have been. Please stop. No. No. More is going to happen, but that really annoyed me right there. Like, girl, what the hell you mean you want him to drop his side chicks? He's never dropped them before. You still stayed around. Anyway, moving on. We got Tip. We've seen a lot in Tip over the years. She has now been in a serious relationship with her new man, Chuck. She's still spending time with her son before he goes off to college. And now we're at a premiere part of her new short film. Joy walking up. Bobby's back. He's been dealing with health issues. Nothing too dramatic. But he is ready to be back outside. He's happy. And we got some new blood. Her name is Sonya. She's a songwriter, a singer. She's written for quite a couple of artists. And she's ready to make a name for herself in Miami than just being a songwriter. So, I don't know what the purpose of her premiere movie was. Maybe it had a lot to do with Tip's life. And you could tell it was hot because Tip's leave out was all frizzled up and fuzz as soon as she sat down with Bobby and Joy. It was all curled up and laid down when she was taking her photos. But when she sat down in that scene, that heat just frizzled her hair right on up, sweated it out. So what's going on with Joy? Joy is homeless. She got an issue. She put in an offer on a townhome, but it fell flat. Her lease was up in her apartment. She had to get out. So she has nowhere to go. Bobby said, technically you do. You're not divorced from Trick. You're still legally together. You can go back to your home. She don't want to go back there. Bobby talks about he is hosting an event that Sonya is going to be performing. Amada is there. That's still his friend. And he's telling Tip, y'all got to squash this shit. Okay? Tip said, listen, I'm cool with her coming because I got some things I need to tell her. I need for her to remind her about who she is. I think she's forgotten who she is. Tip, I understand you trying to show up as a good friend, but you really doing a lot to me. Like, it's not working for me how you just so involved in Amada's business. So 14 hours later, we see Joy in her moving van do the unthinkable. She is agreeing to move back in with Trick. Now, she didn't like Bobby's advice last night because after all the years and heartache and pain she's gone through with Trick, she's moving back in. Now we see Jay and the twins in the garage, and they see Joy having the van pull up, and it's like, girl, you moving in? And she just starts grabbing everything. She got her mannequin head with her braided wig. And Trigger's like, first of all, what's going on? You moving in? Yeah, but it's not like what you think. You ain't got no girl, so I'm moving in. It's only gonna be for a little bit anyway. Joy, stop playing with me. Like, I know y'all are still legally married, but boundaries. Like, Trick has created boundaries. He doesn't want no bullshit. We know that Trick is never going to say no to Joy, but you could have at least called first and asked him if it's okay if you can move back in. You know, he's trying to gain some control of his life right now. You doing this is not cool. So she's telling him she just needs to stay here for a couple of weeks until she can get her shit together for her new place. He's like, all right, good. But he's just trying to get away from all of his attachments. He wants his sins to be forgiven, okay? But obviously, it's going to be like she never left. The flow of them living together is probably not going to be any different than it was before. All right, moving on, we got Rada, okay? Before she heads out to Arizona to have her baby, she decides to link up with her best girlfriends, where we see Claudia, hey girl, and another girl and another woman, an actress who I cannot think of her name. It was on the screen, but it just went away. I've seen her in a lot of movies that I really like her in, and she's letting them know that she's getting induced a week early. Claudia is asking her why. It's because this is a high-risk pregnancy? Yes, and usually women who are over the age of 35, they are considered geriatric. Even though I guess they're telling her that Rada doesn't look 35. I don't know how old Rada is. So, along with having the baby and moving to Miami, Claudia is asking her, can she trust Michael in that kind of environment? Miami is a very sexy place. Rada said, is there a difference between Miami and LA? Claudia said Miami got a lot of hoes. But this has been something that Rada's been dealing with for a while, and they're asking her, when will the wedding planning happen? You've been engaged with him for how long? And she said, you know what comes with being with him? Like, I really do love him. Claudia says, I know you love him, and I think that's what hurts me. Like, I'm sad for you, because what about you, though? Asking Rada, do you think Michael uses condoms? Apparently, Rada has asked Michael, does he use condoms when he has his little tricks with his side women? Well, apparently, we know he don't. So Rada got emotional about how he'll probably never let go of his side chicks, and how she loves him so much. She does everything for him. And then we see Claudia, she was shedding a couple of tears because it's hurtful watching her friend go through this with this man. You're about to have his baby, and the one thing he won't let go is very disheartening. And it's like, why are you having this baby? That's my question. Why? And she is very happy to have a baby with him, but she's not sure if he will let his side chicks go. The fact that you can say that in one sentence bothers me. Y'all have literally have done things not in a normal fashion when it comes to being in a relationship. You've given him a pass for having multiple women, but he can do whatever he wants to do with them. And you're believing that you're having his baby is supposed to change him. It's not going to. We see that Michael already had kids before you, and he still does out and does him. When are you going to get with the program? You are not the woman that's going to change Michael for him to end up being a one-woman man. He's not going to. And Claudia, love her down by saying, listen, Michael is 50 damn years old, okay? When will he grow up, okay? When will he settle down? And everything is not Rada's fault. And she's crying because I don't know why she would believe that this is something that she did. No. This is the man you chose to fall in love with. This is the type of man you chose to have a child with. Don't know why. So you're willing to endure it, no matter how long it takes. I hope that watching this season, Rada wakes the fuck up and realize Michael is never going to change. He's going to be a womanizer. He's not going to be a monogamous man. Like, it's sad to watch. From watching their season on Couples Retreat, seeing it now on Love and Hip Hop is crazy to me. But moving on, we got Trick. Trick decides to meet up with Samantha, somebody he knew from back in the day. We even saw an old picture of her in some type of formal dress. She is an ordained minister and a Christian life coach. We see her on the cover of Christian magazines and everything. But how is somebody who is so close to the Lord decides to come on Love and Hip Hop Miami? For what reason? I'm telling you, it's a game. Okay? And She's talking about how she has her visions, she has her premonitions, and when it's about somebody she cares for, she lets them know about what's going on, and she has always reached out to Trick to let him know what she's seen, what's coming his way, and what she has seen recently is him being in a relationship with somebody he shouldn't have been with. That was so unique. He said Joy took her. She had a moment with her. And then he mentioned that Joy popped up at his house to move in with him because she needed a place to stay while her living situation gets fixed. And then she's telling him that she sees him in a new relationship and that this woman is the one. It's a game, y'all. All of a sudden, you got all these revelations about how he's finally going to be in a good relationship and you had to tell him. So she's telling him that in this relationship, he needs to be with somebody that's more mature. And he's like, I'm not looking for one. Are you looking for a relationship? Turns out she is. This has been Samantha's pattern that Trick has been used to. Every couple of years, Samantha pops up and tells Trick that their relationship could have been the one. They could have had the best relationship ever. Every time she brings it up about what about us? What about all the plans we had? What about our happily ever after? You know what I'm saying? And yes, we get into their history. He did promise to marry Samantha, but then we decide to hear the entire backstory that Samantha is Joy's sister. And the picture of her in a formal dress, that was at Trick and Joy's wedding. I said, oh, now it all makes sense. And then talking about how he betrayed her. And the girl got to have a confessional. How was an ordained minister getting a confessional on a reality show? Make that make sense. A ratchet reality show at that. And talking about how Trick was the love of her life and she could see a future with him. But then she said that Joy was in her ear telling her not to fuck with him because he's a player. And then discovering that Joy was sleeping with him behind her back. And she ended up marrying him. And then we see that Samantha never told Trick she had a sister. Because he called her, Joy picked up, and I guess something happened. He took up an interest in Joy and they got together. And she wanted him to pretty much say, I can't do this. I want to be with Samantha. But why are we doing this now? This was over 20 years ago. Why are we bringing back what he coulda, shoulda, woulda when he was with you and he got with Joy? So Trick said, I can't go back time. I can't turn the clock around. It is what it is. But what I want to hear from you is, I want to fix my relationship with my sister. I want to forgive her. I love her. She ain't talking about forgiving her. He said, that's your sister. It's not going to change. But I'm going to let you know now, I don't break up fights. To me, Samantha does not want to forgive Joy. She wants to use this moment of unleashing all of the hate and resentment she's had to Joy about how she married Trick and she couldn't. But why are you concerned about it now? That's my whole thing. If y'all had brought this up seasons ago, that would have been a great storyline for Joy and Trick. That your sister was involved with him before you, and it's just very off-putting that a ordained minister, somebody who's supposed to be a part of church, all about Christ and love, you signed up to be on a ratchet reality show to fight with your sister about stealing Trick from you? Now? Really? Nah, the sister's looking for a come up or something, because she ain't looking for forgiveness. She's looking to fight Joy. And she's trying to figure out if she can get Trick back. Okay, if you want Trick, take Trick. I don't know, nobody's fighting for him. But it's really crazy to me to see a woman who's supposed to be of a pristine stature to want Trick ass back. Make that make sense. Can't find it. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so now we got Bobby. It's his event. We see Shay. She's back. She is better than ever. She's been low-key ever since she turned down Fabo's marriage proposal, and the producer asked her, are things completely done with her and Fabo? She said, overdone, finito. Okay, Shay, I'm going to keep my eye on you on that because you said that before. Now, Shay and Amada are ready to be outside. They're ready to have some fun. And Bobby tells them, all right, good. I'm happy you guys are in a good mood. I got an artist coming on stage. I think she's really dope. I think you guys should work with her. And Bobby also tells Amada, Tip is coming. I know you're not feeling Tip. I understand. But this is my place of business. Please don't fight. Amada was like, I don't have nothing else but a conversation towards Tip. It is what it is. And then Eliza is coming. Shay was annoyed. Amada said, listen, I did have a conversation with her. We did squash her issues. She did own up to the thing that she did that was wrong. So I softened up to her story because she has been going through a lot. But I did tell her, in order for me and you to still keep our friendship going, she got to talk to you in order for you guys to be cool. Shay said, listen, I don't have a problem with having a conversation. As long as she comes correct, we good. Eliza's coming in with that same conversation about making sure that her and Shay could fix their problems. Now, when they get into it, Eliza's owned up the fact that she did say something about Shay's business after the turkey baster comment. And she said that wasn't cool, that wasn't right. So Eliza didn't like what Shay said about how she trapped a baby with Future, and then she wanted to defend the fact that Future fucked that pussy so good, ate that pussy so good. I don't know why you're defending the fact that you fucked the guy and got pregnant and that you didn't have to trap him, but whatever. So they got loud with each other. It was back and forth about how Eliza didn't like that Shay was talking shit about Eliza to Amada, right? And Amada was like, listen, we were getting somewhere. Let's pause right now. Now, Eliza mentioned they're both single mothers. They don't have it easy. Eliza's taking accountability of how she was wrong to talk about Shay's business. And Eliza also said, listen, if we're having a conversation and it might lead to us arguing, we should not bring kids into it. Kids should be off limits. Then Shay said, I didn't talk about your child. Eliza said, you did. You called my child a motherfucker. And then it flashes back to their argument where cameras were all surrounding them, trying to calm the conversation down. And Shay was online talking about why Future don't claim her child, how Future don't claim that motherfucker. So in the height of you being mad, Shay, you did talk about her child. And this is what Shay likes to do that I don't like, okay? Whenever Shay is mad, she does go for the jugular to talk about somebody in a very nasty way. So she said, you can't tell me what I can and can't say. But Eliza said, listen, how would you feel if I came for your daughter? How would you feel? And then Shay said, come for her. Shay, do not do that. Don't dare anybody to come for your daughter, because if anybody was to come out of pocket and talk about your baby, all hell will break loose. You're going to be looking for sympathy. But where was that sympathy when you don't want to admit you said something about Eliza's child? That wasn't right. So accountability needs to be on all sides in this, okay? Amada was like, I thought we were getting somewhere, but we're not. I can't take this. I'm going to get a drink. Shay and Eliza paused their conversation because Shay is too hyped right now and nothing's going to get resolved. So she said that she has become very guarded with what she's been through. And maybe down the line she can forgive Eliza, but right now she can't, and she leaves. Fine. So Sonya, she performs. I'm hearing her sound kind of good. And Tip is walking in happy about how she's looking forward to having this conversation with Amada, and that she has no regrets on getting involved in Alan's business, connecting to his wife, being on social media, talking about him and everything, and how she wants to let Amada know she deserves better than him and that Alan is a menace. You're not wrong, Tip, but at the same time, the way you're going about it is not really registering like that, you know? So when she comes in, she wants to hug Amada. She said, girl, you too close, back up off me. And Amada is defending herself about how, why are y'all up in my business? Because his wife responded to me, but why are you still dealing with him? I'm trying to have your back. But Amada said, I did not ask you to have my back. And then she just starts going through the things that Alan is. He's a yellow ass, broke ass, bum ass, all that and then some. All facts though. But if Amada is not feeling anything about it, why are you? And she said, listen, there are things that I could have mentioned, other things you had to do to take care of your kid, but I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to be all up in your business. Don't be all up in mine. Now, Tip was getting angry and hyped about how Alan has dogged out Amada, how he has not treated her with any respect. We've all seen it, how he's not been there for his children. All of that is true, but let Amada deal with it. Let her deal with it. This has nothing to do with you, and it shouldn't bother you like this. Then Tip says, your daughters are going to see you as a weak bitch. And she should not have said that. She said, don't bring up my daughters. Don't talk about my children. So she wanted to pick up a chair, throw a drink, hit Tip. Tip didn't move. Security pulled them apart. They're going back and forth. Eliza running in, get into the ring because she don't like Tip either. And then the new girl is on stage like, oh my God, we're arguing. And then in a confessional, she's talking about how this is why nobody takes Love and Hip Hop Miami seriously, because of this shit. Okay, sure. And Amada and Tip have ruined their performance. So why are y'all here? Then Amada decides to get on stage take the mic. She apologizes to the girl by ruining her event, but then call out the fact that maybe we should make a song about how bitches need to mind their own fucking business. Let's talk about how bitches need to get a life, focus on their own life, not mine. And I don't know what Tip was on when she said, I'm going to call Alan's wife and get her to come and kick your ass. Huh? What does that mean? Why are you bringing Alan's wife into the mix to fight Amada? She ain't got nothing to do with this. Her issue is the shit that Alan has put her through. Tip, what are you doing? Why are you advocating for the wife now? What? It's weird. Weird. I don't understand why Tip is so angry about this whole thing. I can get it as to why you have very much love for Amada, but this isn't your fight. Why are you making it your fight? Moving on. It ends off with Michael. Michael is in Los Angeles at one of his side chicks' home, and he doesn't know how he's going to be able to get rid of all of his side chicks because this side chick is pregnant. So this is what Rada wanted him to do, but it's going to be completely impossible now because he has now permanently attached himself to now have a child with his side chick that he's going to be dealing with for the next 18 years. And she's having a boy too. What a tangle web we have weaved, Michael. This is going to be a very interesting season, and I am here for it. But that was the end of the first episode. The first episode was actually really, really good. Like, I like that we have multiple storylines coming into the fold. We got, I forgot Chingy Doll. I forgot that new rapper from last season. She's coming back, and she got baby daddy issues. Excited for it. Gael. Why is Gael back? Don't know. But we got some shit going on this season that I'm actually excited for. But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video. I'm see you guys later. Bye.